G'day guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Wildkard. Thank you for watching the Wildkard Rugby Show. Like, comment, and subscribe. And yes, you are here today because it is the Bledisloe Cup Day today, and it is the only religious holiday I celebrate of the entire year, and a Bledisloe miracle almost happened. So close. So close. Thank God the All Blacks took the early penalty in the second half, and they didn't score any points for the entire second half after the early penalty that was taken about 4 minutes in. And hey, you know, I get criticized for saying that you shouldn't take the penalties, but I guess this time the All Blacks took the right option, right? You know, if they didn't take that penalty, they could have, I don't know, scored more tries in the second half. Maybe, but hey, who knows? Who knows? But, you know, this is what I love about the Bledisloe Cup, right? It is a allegory of the life here, at least in Australia, right? It is a struggle. It is a battle for supremacy. It is the Anzac spirit. You're down in the trenches, and it is about being with your mates. It is about, you know, really showing what it's about, you know, when it comes to that competition between Australia and New Zealand. And it is a fight for a better future, for a result that no one is expecting, and against all odds. But just like the cruelty of life, sometimes things just don't go your way. You thought a miracle was in the making. The players try their best. Sometimes you try your best in life, things just don't go your way. And boy, at least I was thoroughly entertained by the Wallabies. Oh, the cruelty of life once again was reflected on the beautiful, beautiful game of rugby tonight. And, you know, this was pretty bad stuff for the Wallabies, I thought. I was actually borderline turning the game off about, 25 minutes in. The All Blacks were just running circles around the Wallabies. They basically took what the Argentinians were doing a couple of weeks ago and just continued. Pass the ball around left side of the field, pass the ball around to the right side of the field. Try time. Caleb Clark, the legacy player, was breaking through the line left and right. And, the way that he played for the Blues, they started deploying that a little bit in this game. Bringing him in around the rocks, punching through that 9-10 channel, knowing that Lolosio probably a bit weak on the tackling. And again, I thought maybe he's looking at transitioning to become a center at some point, but he looked very good, very, very powerful, setting up a lot of two of those tries in the first half for the All Blacks. And he did get a yellow card late in the game, but hey, his contributions was absolutely outstanding for the black jersey tonight. Another guy that I was screaming and cursing tonight at was the man off the bench, was TJ Perenara. I'm cursing at him because he was so good, right? How many times he saved the tries tonight when the Wallabies made a break, especially in the second half when the All Blacks had players in the bin. And I was just blown away by how much work he did, how many tackles he did, and just really shutting down the offload options as well, risking that potential head-on-head collisions at times to shut down the Wallabies, and paid off for the All Blacks. Saved themselves many times, like multiple tries were saved because TJ Perenara's absolute amazing work there from the All Blacks. I thought the Wallabies was, like I said, second half, really, ironically, I wrote in my notes that when the All Blacks took the 3 points, I wrote, maybe they're not going to score any points with the retired second half. The Wallabies might have a chance. And turned out that was the truth, right? Turned out the Wallabies did put themselves together. They brought something that I have not seen for the entire year so far, and that is physicality. The physicality, even against Wales, that was just, despite winning, that was lacking. I mean, obviously, the Welsh team was lacking a little bit of that. Lacking a little bit of their star players, lacking a bit of depth there in their squad. But yeah, the Wallabies, clearly was outgunned by the Springboks in the last 2 rounds. In the first 2 rounds of the championship, even against Argentina, I thought the Pablo Matera was able to bully these ways through multiple times, just with physicality as well, especially in the second test. And they really brought the physicality in the second half, and it showed that the Wallabies do have it, and they just really didn't have the confidence in themselves to really show that for the entire year. And finally, they brought it tonight, showed a lot of confidence, and the players just really a bit of a mongrel, backed themselves in those tight situations, and you can see that they were just like swinging for the fences, a bit of desperation in the hearts of these players, something that, again, really impressed, really happy. I'm really happy to see, because, you know, as a rugby player, you need a bit of that, a little bit of that, that fighting spirit that has not shown at all this year. And I was very proud of that effort from the Wallabies to come back, especially Angus Bell, Hunter Paisami as well. We know both of these players has been physically capable. You know, in Super Rugby, they just hasn't shown that in test level and really show. And another player that's really stepped up as well for the Wallabies is Tom Wright. Really showed that Super Rugby form finally starting to show through in the Wallabies. Again, just you know, what do you call it? The confidence that you really need a team to really deliver has really started to shine through in that second half, and it's definitely, the talent is definitely there, and they put themselves in the position to win the game. Wasn't able to do so. You know, even at the end when the Hunter Paisami got turned over, he was running his heart out, trying to keep the legs going, was held up for a more. I thought Carl Dixon called a more a little bit too early. But but still, you can't falter him for the effort. I was very proud of that, despite the turnover there. The one thing the Wallabies did struggle today was the breakdown. The All Blacks was able to turn over the ball again and again at the breakdown. Wallace Satiti, another legacy player, was able to do huge work, especially in the second half when the All Blacks were down 2 yellow cards, and he was able to turn the ball over at the breakdowns to save them multiple times. It was very impressive, and that was, you know, after he played for the entire game at this point. Another guy that was outstanding for the All Blacks tonight. The scrummaging, I thought in the first half, Carl Dixon didn't really know what on earth he was looking at, to be honest. I thought Tupou was boring in under the hookup pretty clearly, especially in the first couple of the scrums, and then eventually Tupou got done by for collapsing the scrum, which I did think it was he did pull the scrum down a bit, and Ethan de Groot pancaked. He did get penalized for that, but I thought the boring in was probably the most obvious thing, infringement that was happening by Tupou, that was not picked up by Carl Dixon at all. I thought, again, that was a pretty good contest, and one of the things I did notice about the scrum, obviously with the new law change, you're not allowed to contest, you're not allowed to follow the ball anymore, basically not allowed to contest the halfback at the back of the scrum, made the game just so much worse, especially at the end there. The All Blacks had a scrum. The Wallabies have to win the scrum to potentially continue the game. The clock is in the red, and basically, especially now, the halfback can just feed the ball straight back without feeding it straight. Like they don't care about straight feed anymore. He just literally threw the ball straight back, and the ball rolled to the number 8. Hardy Savia picked it up. He was uncontested because you're not allowed to follow the ball anymore. You have to follow where the tunnel is, and Hardy just picked up the ball and kicked the ball out without any contest around him. Really bad law by the brainless, the absolute idiots at World Rugby under whatever his name is, Bill Beaumont, whatever his name is, these absolute morons changing these laws, making the game less contest. How could you make the game less contest as a law? I think that's a good idea. It's just absolutely mind-boggling. They're just awful people. These people needs to go. Like, you know, the heads of the heads of World Rugby needs to go. These people were so in their titles. They all need to go and go wank themselves off somewhere in their countryside mansion, right? They're just unbelievably poor decisions on their like the game was pretty much over at the scrum, right? You just throw the ball straight back and then kick the ball out, right? Like, what is the contest, right? It's just unbelievably bad by World Rugby to changing these laws. And anyway, that's my little bit of rant about the game tonight. And so with that being said, anything else I thought I need to talk about? That's pretty much it. I thought, the All Blacks looked really good in the start, and then like I said, taking the penalties, it's a clear sign that you've lost confidence in your players, especially still not able to score in the last 20 minutes for the All Blacks. Still an issue. And, in fact, the last 10 minutes, 2 yellow cards, only got worse, didn't improve at all. So, something that, again, still a big work ahead for the All Blacks and their coaching stuff in that regards. Let's have a look at the The match stats of the game: 28 points to 31, just one penalty. The penalty was the difference. The run meter wise, the All Blacks pretty much put the run meters way ahead of the Wallabies just in the first half. 646 run meters to the All Blacks, the Wallabies 593. Defenders beaten as well, more defenders beaten. There were so many tries that the All Blacks kind of like botched for various reasons. Just little knock-ons held up over the try line. Adi Savia had one held up. And just, yeah, there was a number of tries being disallowed because of just tiny little bubbles around the rocks and stuff like that. And the All Blacks probably could have got away with more points if they had tidied those up. Same with the Wallabies, had a couple of tries disallowed as well, just due to poor handling error leading into it. And there was one where Andrew Callaway clearly knocked the ball on and allowed the play on, leading into a try. And then the referee called it back. Turnovers conceded 18 against the All Blacks. This is one good sign for the Wallabies, actually getting more turnovers for themselves. I guess a lot of these turnovers are not just forced turnovers. A lot of these are, like I said, dropping the balls themselves. 168 tackles are made for the Wallabies, 33 missed tackles. A little bit on the high end, wanted to get that a little bit lower, but it's not too bad considering you're almost making 200 tackles here. 145 for the All Blacks and 25 missed tackles on their half. Not much kicking in play for both sides. I think the best kicking was done by Fraser McWright. He almost kicked the 50-20. He kicked the 50-22 from inside his own 22 at 22-22. And it was by far the best kicking for the entire game. And that's she just put him at a fly high at this point, in my opinion. So 17 for the Wallabies. And the kicking from hands meters, 530 to the All Blacks, 563. We saw the All Blacks reaching 800 against England, so the kicking is definitely tamed down a lot in this match in particular. It was almost like a Super Rugby style of rugby as well. Not much kicking, a lot of running, and overall a running style of rugby. Almost like both teams has agreed to play a style that they wanted to play instead of a more test rugby style of territory and kicking game and high ball, that sort of stuff. Lineouts, 4 lineouts lost for the Wallabies, very unclinical. The Tupuvai was really good at disrupting both around the lineouts and also around the breakdowns, believe it or not. He was really good disrupting people around the breakdowns, an absolute machine there. And 4 lineouts lost for the Wallabies and 2 for the All Blacks as well. A little bit of untidiness for themselves. 1 scrum loss for both teams. Like I said, I thought it was pretty even overall, the scrummaging. I was expecting maybe Tupou, I thought Tupou may have I was expecting a little bit more from Tupou, but overall, it's kind of expected, pretty even. 47% possession for the Wallabies, 53 for the All Blacks, pretty even overall. 80% possession in the last 10 minutes for the Wallabies, and not able to score more than 1 try was, really disappointing. Especially at one point was against 13 players, and the All Blacks was still able to hold on. Just all credits to the black jersey players delivering that for their team. 11 penalties considered for the Wallabies, 9 for the All Blacks, and 2 yellow cards. 1 for repeated penalties, and against Anton Leonard-Brown, and pretty much a team penalty, and 1 for Caleb Clark, deliberate knock-on. I think he kind of just reactionary, blocked the ball, and sent off with that as well. So let's do a quick recap of the game. So it took about a minute for the All Blacks to score. It was pretty bad. So right from the kickoff, you look like the ball was going to go out, and the Wallabies stopped it from going out, and then end up taking the ball out themselves. All Blacks had early opportunities immediately inside with the line out, and 1 minute, All Blacks spread the one side, spread the ball the other side, and then there was a nice little pass to Will Jordan around the breakdown, ran straight through the middle, and I think there was a Tupuvai with a little backdoor play. Really well done, really beautiful. 7 points to nil to the All Blacks. 8 minutes into the game, Caleb Clark punched right through center field again around the rocks, the same tunnel where Nola Lasil is. We'll have to check out his tackling stats some point. And just straight through the middle, and then again, All Blacks he linked up with Satiti, and then the All Blacks, some nice hands, and then Ratama pick and go. Really quick ball down the sideline to Riku Ioane. Try. 14 points to nil. 14 minutes into the game again. There was some good running from the All Blacks, getting full momentum, eventually spreading the ball out to the wing where Caleb Clark is. He ran down the sideline, had 2 players in front of him. He had Angus Bell and Tom Wright, and he bumped through both of them, reaching through for the try. Just physical stuff. that you really want for a center. Yeah, 21 points to nil for the All Blacks, only 14 minutes in. At this point, I was like, I should turn this off. 17 minutes into that, luckily for the Wallabies, had a nice little set play, which was beautifully done. Ball thrown over the top. Rob Valentini, it looked almost like a accidental overthrow, but it was, watching the replay, it was a deliberate move. Robert Valentini was waiting for it, got the ball far out, inside ball to Robert Valentini to Nick White, into the 10 channel, and Nick White again, nice offload, another inside ball to Fraser McWright, runs in for the try, 7 points to 21. 23 minutes into the game, Fraser McWright kick a 22-22 from inside his own 22, so really, really well done. And then finally, after this, on the 24th minute, right, the Wallabies was attacking following this nice 50-22, and there was a pressure rush defense on Tom Wright, who threw a pass under pressure that bounced off the ground and was scooped up by Seville Reese, and Reese ran down the field, linked up with Adi Savia down the center of the field. Try time, 28 points to 7, and there's only 24 minutes in. Was really looking bad at this point. Wallabies starting to really show a bit of a problem. Tupu got penalized for collapsing the scrum. The line-out throw was not 5 meters at this point. I was like, should I just turn this off? And sure enough, Wallabies stabilized the situation a little bit. 35 minutes into the game, they had a penalty. They went for the line-out. Obviously, didn't kick 3 points. You know, and I was pretty happy about that. They went for the line-out. They backed themselves. They went for the maul. Fazlup just peeled off at the back of the maul. Crashed through for the try. Really well done. 14 points to 28. Just before half-time, it looked like the All Blacks scored with Jordy Barrett into the corner. There was a tiny little knock-on. Hardly a knock-on, I thought, on the ground. So no try. Saved the Wallabies. And I literally wrote here as well, maybe we'll have a chance because the All Blacks might not score any tries in the second half. Sure enough, 4 minutes into the game, they got an early penalty and All Blacks decided to kick for 3. And I wrote, like I said earlier, again, maybe they won't score any more points after this because they kicked for 3. And it actually happened. So, anyway, 51 minutes, Adi Savia was over the try line, was held up, so no try. There was a 56 minutes. It looked like the All Blacks ran 75 minutes to score a try. And it looked like, surely, what's his name? The D-Mac was pushed out, but he apparently he was not out, but his pass back in field was forward to Will Jordan, so no try there, saving it. 60 minutes into the game, the Wallabies are starting to look like they're feeling themselves, feeling more and more confident. And I was just like, come on, I can feel the momentum shift at this point. And sure enough, Wallabies was building a lot of pressure in front of the All Blacks 22. And then, yeah, got really close to trial and the Wallace Satiti getting the turnover. 64 minutes into the game, finally, the overwhelming pressure from the Wallabies is starting to pay off. What's his name? There was a nice line break from Salakai Loto. Again, impact player off the bench. He was not in the starting position to come off the bench to make an impact, and sure enough, he did. He bumped over a bunch of defenders, got over the advantage line. There was some nice offloads, and eventually Hunter Baisami as well, just punching through. And there was a few pick and go, getting close to try line, and eventually Paisami again calling for space out wide. The ball went out. The Wallabies were like a meter short at this point. Paisami just taking them on the gang line and then punched through. Try time. 21 points to 31. Anton Leonard-Brown also gets a yellow card for deliberate, I think it was tackle off the side. 71 minutes into the game. Before this, again, Wallabies were breaking just the defense line again against New Zealand. And TJ Perenara made a number of these try-saving tackles. In fact, the one before when Salaka Lotto made the line break, he linked up with Tate McDermott. The TJ Perenara saved the try there. So yeah, he saved a number of tries here. And eventually, 71 minutes into the game, Caleb Clark gets sent off for deliberate knock-on. At this point, All Blacks down to 13 players. I thought, come on, we can surely get a try against 13 players. But no, pretty big defense by the All Blacks, stopping the Wallabies from scoring all the way till 75 minutes, actually. Again, the Wallabies had a line out. They had a drive to the try line. Turnover on the try line by Satiti, so another save by the youngster. It took all the way till 78 minutes. All Blacks back to 14 players to finally get Wallabies on the ball. Again, just big crash balls from the big fours. Angus Bell Dylan Peach got really close, and eventually good hands out to Tom Wright. Again, backing himself with that confidence, taking on the gangline, and then just pumped off the defender, dumped the ball in for the try. 28 points to 31, still with the kickoff. All Blacks walking back really slowly. Should probably pause the clock there. Carl Dixon, and then the kickoff, Hunter Baisami ran with all his heart. Were allowed him to do was held up for more, and then scrum. All Blacks kicked the ball out and retained the Bledisloe Cup. 28 points to 31. And again, the next game will be a dead rubber. When will New Zealand Rugby and Australian Rugby waking up to the fact that this should be done by point difference and make sure, making the second game a little bit more exciting and a bit more viewership on it. Because, a 3-point margin, the Wallabies could easily win with a 4-point margin or more than 3 points and win the Bledisloe Cup next week in Wellington. It's a big possibility there, and to have that opportunity completely just be denied because of a stupid law that says in the case of a draw the previous winner retains. It's pretty stupid, and hopefully Silver Lake's watching and maybe they will fix this up with that, venture capital money. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know your thoughts. I'll see you guys a bit later for the Springbok game, and thanks for watching. Cheers.